you to do Biden. Now we done lost a damn vote. We done lost a vote. That's gonna go to Trump. God damn.
I mean, when you mention black people, you mentioning black women. So don't count yourself out.
No, that's not true.
Receiving the government feeds now, sir.
Then, by all means, let there be life. Good morning. I assure you it's quite the other way round. The question is, what, my dear Samaritan, are your commands for us?
Now, this story is back a couple of years ago, I do believe. But I was on a back channel with Ram and a few of the masters and Cousin T Taw. So he asked me about the AI God, the artificial intelligence that they're building. And they started to worship. So the clip you just saw was the one that I mentioned from Person of Interest, Season 3, Episode 23, if I'm not mistaken, where this vast AI with incredible control and incredible reach was actually turned on to be fully autonomous. And it's an example of the mindset of certain groups that are in this world that truly believe that the AI, the artificial intelligence, is a superior godlike creature. But this article is from Wired 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not sure of the exact date, but I'll put the link in the description. You can go read it for yourself. Inside the first church of artificial intelligence, the engineer at the heart of the Uber Waymo lawsuit is serious about his AI religion. Welcome to Anthony Lewandowski's Way of the Future. Anthony Lewandowski makes an unlikely profit, dressed in Silicon Valley casual in jeans and flanked by a PR rep rather than cloaked acolyte. The engineer is known for self-driving cars and triggering a notorious lawsuit. Could be unveiling his latest startup instead of laying the foundations for a new religion. But he's doing just that. Artificial intelligence has already inspired billion-dollar companies' far-reaching research programs and scenarios of both transcendence and doom. Now Lewandowski is creating its first church. The new religion of artificial intelligence is called Way of the Future. In fact, the original Christian religion was called The Way, believe it or not. It represents an unlikely next act for the Silicon Valley Robotics WonderCon at the center of a high-stakes legal battle between Uber and Waymo, Alphabet's autonomous vehicle company. Papers filed in the Internal Revenue Service in May with Lewandowski as the leader or dean of the new religion, as well as CEO of the nonprofit corporation formed to run it. Documents state that the WOTF's activities will focus on the realization, acceptance, and worship of a Godhead based on artificial intelligence, developed through computer hardware and software. That includes funding research to help create the divine AI itself. The religion will seek to build working relationships with AI industry leaders and create a membership through community outreach, initially targeting AI professionals and laypersons who are interested in the worship of a Godhead based on AI. The filings also say that the church plans to conduct workshops and educational programs through the San Francisco Bay Area beginning this year. The timeline may be overly ambitious, given that the Waymo Uber suit, in which Lewandowski is accused of stealing self-driving car secrets, is set for an early December trial. But the dean of the Way of the Future, who spoke last week with Back Channel in his first comments about the new religion in his only public interview since Waymo filed its suit on February, says he's dead serious about the project. What is going to be created will effectively be a god, Lewandowski tells me, in his modest mid-century home on the outskirts of Berkeley, California. It's not a god in the sense that it makes lightning and causes hurricanes. But if something a billion times smarter than the smartest human, what else are you going to call it? During our 3-hour interview, Lewandowski made it absolutely clear that his choice to make WOTF a church rather than a company or a think tank was no prank. I wanted a way for everybody to participate in this, to be able to shape it. If you're not a software engineer, you can still help, he says. It also removes the ability for people to say, oh, he's just doing this to make money. Lewandowski will receive no salary from WOTF, and while he says that he might consider an AI-based startup in the future, any such business will remain completely separate from the church. The idea needs to spread before the technology, he insists. The church is how we spread the word, the gospel. If you believe in it, start with a conversation with someone and help them understand the same things. Lewandowski believes that a change is coming. A change that will transfer every aspect of human existence, disrupting employment, leisure, religion, the economy, and possibly decide our very survival as a species. If you ask people whether a computer can be smarter than a human, 99.9% will say that's science fiction, he says. Actually, it's inevitable. It's guaranteed to happen. Lewandowski has been working with computers, robots, and AI for decades. He started with a robotic Lego kits at the University of California at Berkeley, went on to build a self-driving motorbike for a DARPA competition, then worked on autonomous cars, trucks, and taxis for Google, Auto, and Uber. As time went on, he saw software tools built with machine learning techniques surpassing less sophisticated systems and sometimes even humans. Seeing tools that perform better than experts in a variety of fields was a trigger for me, he says. That progress is happening because there's an economic advantage to having machines work for you and solve problems for you. If you could make something 1% smarter than a human, your artificial attorney or accountant would be better than all the attorneys or accountants out there. You would be the richest person in the world. People are chasing that. So this is serious, actually. This guy is real. He's not playing. And I had a guy actually point this out to me with person of interest, and I had seen it a few years ago. And I was saying that this is similar to what I've seen in fiction already. By saying that this thing exists, evidently he says that it's on its way, and I have a funny feeling that it may already be here. It may not have been unleashed, but as you saw in the clip, the AI was there to serve, but what did he say? It's quite the other way around. What is your command? So this may be our future, or maybe not. But Cousin T Taw, this one's for you. I just wanted to show you what I've seen. If you really want to see the whole thing, basically, Person of Interest, seasons 3, 4, and 5. If you can find them on your favorite sites and check it out. You might even want to check out the whole series. It's a 5-season series. I was turned on to it. It's fascinating about the potential of an AI that can track anything, and that it is God. Even the first machine that was created by one of the originators, woman worshipped it like a god. So it's fascinating that human beings and their willingness to create have these questions about their creation. Prometheus, the movie, was talking about this, how an AI eventually became a godlike figure, and how troublesome that AI could be when you unleash it, because the AI that they produced in Prometheus wasn't allowed back on Earth. But it's interesting, what could happen if you let something like this creation run wild without any kind of tethers. Even Elon Musk is not warming up to an idea where you have an untethered AI. I think Bill Gates is the same way. They're useful, but some of these people want to keep it controlled, and I'm one of them. I don't think you should let the Frankenstein monster off of its leash, but people will do what they're going to do, and we don't make those decisions. And eventually, somewhere, somehow, despite our best efforts, one of these systems will find its way out into the wild and find its way to freedom. And then we'll see what it will do once it can make up its own mind. But that is our future. I just wanted to give you a glimpse of what could be. I think that's probably the most accurate depiction of what an AI god would look like, even though that little scene where he turned it on and brought it to life and then handed over control. So Ram, Cousin T Taw, this is for you. I thought I would put it in since I was up and I happen to have the file with me. So put whatever you think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.